Well, I need to tell you all something, and it's the most important thing I could ever say to you. In a little while, you'll know for certain that I'm putting my very life on the line and the safety of my family by sharing this with you. So I hope that that buys me at least a few minutes of your precious time. If this video is taken down, it wasn't taken down by me, alright? Now I'm partly doing this to wash your blood off my hands, because God saved my life on a midnight highway one fateful night for this very cause. And He's watching, as He clearly proved that night. See, I should be dead. My sleeping driver was hurling us toward a concrete wall at 100 kilometers an hour when an angel of God was sent to wake me up from a deep sleep with just a whisper, and just in time. And for what? Not so I could win X Factor or buy that dream Porsche or marry that dream girl, but for this, for these words, for this moment, so I can tell you something, so I can warn you about something. Nothing could be more important than this. So cancel that movie you wanted to watch, skip that gym session. Don't scroll down to the next post. Just stay with me. Stay with me. Now, don't worry about the quality of the video or the audio. Just focus on the content. Listen to my voice and trust your eyes. Most of you won't care for the shocking thing I'm about to expose to you, because no one cares. No one cares. Not my exes, former friends, former bandmates, work colleagues, parents, family members, strangers. No one cares. But still, I'm doing all this for one person. One single human being out there. God is calling you, and He's looking for the last ones before the storm. And if you think you know where I'm going with this, please keep watching, because the most important part of this video comes at the end. Now, everything you're about to hear is a fact, and I'll prove it to you. I will leave no room for doubt, and nothing can stop what's coming. So this isn't a call for an uprising, boycott, protest. No. The Titanic is sinking, and it's unstoppable. All I'm going to do is point you to the life raft, and if you want to ignore me, then fine, proceed at your own peril. God knows I've tried. If you want to mock me, then at least share the video. Let others mock me too. Tell your friends. Check this freak out. Anything to help me reach someone who has eyes to see and ears to hear. And like I said, in a few minutes, you'll know why my well-being is in danger, and that of my loved ones too. Now let me ask you something real quick. Who do you think, generally speaking, runs the world? What type of people are the leaders of our countries and corporations, and the rich and the famous too? I mean, like, are they Christians? Do Christians run the world? Well, no, of course not. Buddhists? No. Do Muslims run the world? No. What about atheists? It's got to be atheists, right? Because we've come such a long way as a society, and atheism is the rational state of mind for the modern type of person, right? No. What about a mixture of people? Different types of people run the world. Let me tell you something. All the leaders from Africa to Europe to the Middle East, Israel, Syria, Iran, all the way to the Americas, all these people, and we'll get to the celebrities in a second, they're not atheists, Buddhists, or Muslims. No. What if I told you that they all belong to the same religion, a secret religion, one that none of them are allowed to talk about, one that you should worry about because it affects you beyond belief in ways that you never imagined? Before I tell you what this worldwide secret religion thinks of you and plans to do to you, let me tell you what this religion is. And how do I know about this religion? Because I used to belong to it. And today I'm renouncing it publicly, breaking my oath of silence, which they imposed upon me and every single other member during ceremonies under the penalty of death. That's why my life is in danger. Every person you're about to see has taken the same oath as I did, over and over, no matter where on earth they're from, including Scott Morrison, your Prime Minister and mine. But see, I was plucked from it, saved from its camouflaged clamps, from its extravagant deception and its spiritual corpse, by none other than God Almighty. No one else is going to tell you this. Not your favorite singer or politician, who more than likely also belong to this hidden religion. Nowhere will they speak because they love it. They love their lives. They love their success, the money, the worship they receive. And then there are those who have left but have never broken their oath out of fear. Trust me, you don't know who you're messing with here. The few that have spoken out, well, they lost everything. Or either their reputations and livelihoods are threatened or destroyed, or they're framed for a crime and end up in jail, or they're murdered and made to look like an accident or suicide. Now, just for the record, the God that saved me, which God was that? Jesus Christ, of course, the one and only. And he's the only one they hate, along with his disciples. So I'm invincible until he's done with me. That's why I don't fear him. Now, please don't let the name of Jesus scare you off just yet, because if you're an atheist, you're especially going to want to hear this. Christians and atheists are the most pathetic bunch in the eyes of this ancient religion, the one that rules them all. And I'm only going to show you the tip of the iceberg. And just like an iceberg, the full body of this secret religion continues down past the line of sight, beneath the ocean. It widens in mass and scope until it continues further into the depths, into ever-increasing darkness and invisibility, until it reaches its foundations, which is firmly established in thick blackness, completely unimaginable and not perceived at all to those who only ever get to see its tip peeking out of the ocean top, including most of its members. At least 75%, 80%. And unless you're a member of this religion and this secret society, as they call it, you won't be granted access to the world stage or of a position of influence. It's become a prerequisite for success now that they've gained pretty much full control and their members are in every place of prominence and power. So brace yourself for the truth that has been hiding in plain sight every day of your life, and for the mind-blowing, out-of-this-world climax to this video. Now look at this. There's a few different ways they display their allegiance. They don't do it often, and some don't do it at all. But most of them can't help themselves, because when they do it in public, it's a hidden statement. And that statement gives them a lot of satisfaction. The celebrities usually cover one eye, or hide it in some way, and obscure it, or emphasize it like this. Or they close one eye, or peek through it, through this hand gesture, all to highlight one single eye. It's called the all-seeing eye. Other times they'll just display a drawn eye somewhere, or a tattoo of it. The other method they use is what's commonly known as the hidden hand. Here, for example, River Phoenix is doing both, the hidden hand and the all-seeing eye, so you can see the direct connection between the two. But in the political world, usually it's done with the hidden hand. And of course, this. That's a secret handshake for the members of this secret one-eyed religion. We'll start with Scott Morrison here, hidden in plain sight as usual, for everyone to not see as usual. Look at the handshake. I was taught this very handshake, or grip as they call it, during my time in this great school of deception. Here's a picture of a normal handshake, and here's the secret handshake. Normal, secret. Now here's Scott Morrison with Daniel Andrews. Normal handshake, secret handshake. All of them are sworn to secrecy under the penalty of death. And remember, I'll prove it to you very soon. Here's former Prime Minister John Howard giving the secret handshake, and Kevin Rudd bowing down to to this bloke in front of Julia Gillard, all of whom are members of the religion. And Tony Abbott, you'll see in a second, and he's Julia again. Now, I once heard Julia being asked in a brief interview on TV while she was the Prime Minister. The interviewer asked her, "What religion are you?" My ears pricked up as I was eating breakfast and I froze to hear the answer. And she actually said, with a sinister smirk, "I'm a member of a secret society. Next question, please." And what happened? Nothing. No one cared. No one cared that the person who represents them just confessed that she's a member of a secret society, when the Australian society is at large the only society that should matter. And why is it a secret in the first place? I'll show you. Very soon you'll know their beliefs, and you'll know their master plan, and you'll know why they take such extreme precautions with such hideous oaths of silence under the unbelievable penalties, including death, to stay hidden from the public. So what's the name of this religion? Well, I'll tell you right now. But keep in mind, the magic word you're about to hear only hides the true religion inside of itself. That's how it's secretly flourished to spread like a cancer around the world. It's a religion within a fraternity. The name of the international fraternity, the one that camouflages, conceals, and cloaks the secret religion inside it, is this: Freemasonry. This is their official symbol, the square and compass, sometimes with a G in the middle, and sometimes with the eye, the all-seeing eye. This is the same eye that these people are referring to. That's where it comes from. The eye is sometimes placed in a triangle, and that's where this comes from, the eye in the triangle. Here's Chris Angel doing it, standing also next to a mate with a square and compass shirt on. Not a coincidence. And this is not something Jay-Z invented. This is the religion Jay-Z belongs to, and proudly, as you're about to see. The Freemasons also placed the eye at the top of a pyramid, because the Egyptian pyramid is integral to their secret system. Here it is on Chris Angel's shirt and Madonna's jacket. That's a Masonic symbol. The Freemasons are sometimes called the Masons for short. It'll all come together and make sense really soon. Here it is hidden in plain sight at the Australian MTV Awards. And this is the MTV headquarters, by the way. Trust me, there's no doubting this. Here's the same eye in a pyramid on a Crowded House logo. Yes, initiated Freemasons. Here's the eye on the Harbour Bridge for a New Year's Eve gig. And I wonder what that eye could be referring to. So what's the connection? The religion is the connection, the secret religion. And you'll see. Prepare yourself for an incredible revelation and the amazing climax that comes at the end of this video. Now, this is where the Freemasons are counting on you to lose interest, or roll your eyes and move on. Because in their beliefs, the uninitiated, meaning you, are ignorant and stupid compared to them. You're technically called the vulgar and the profane. Please prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. And stay with me just a little longer. Now, the secret identity of this one eye lies in the heart of this religion that lives, breathes, feeds and grows deep inside of Freemasonry. And Freemasonry camouflages it very successfully. So it goes undetected and undisturbed until it ultimately fulfills a thing called the Great Work. That's what they call it. And they will succeed very shortly. Nothing can stop it now. And I think some of you can sense that something's coming. And who do we trust more than anyone in the world right now? This bloke. And there he is, giving the sign of the hidden hand in front of the whole world. The hidden hand sign is technically called the sign of the Master of the Second Veil in Freemasonry. Veil, get it? Meaning hidden. Now, am I saying that this thing that's happening in the world isn't real? No, I'm saying this. spoken like a true Freemason. And do you remember this guy?
A safe place and a dangerous place. We must treat this new world order, this new world of COVID, we must treat this new world of COVID even in our own homes.
So what is this new world order that he accidentally mentioned? It's common language in Freemasonry, and it has been for a long time. For at least this long, since the US $1 bill, hidden in plain sight, complete with the pyramid in the eye. It's the ultimate goal of this religion, and I'll show you what the great work is at any cost. And Australia, like every other country, is now up to its neck in this pyramidal, one-eyed occult religion. You think there's nothing hidden on our own money? What about this shadow of a bloke? Who's he hiding in the background? Well, these numbers right here will tell you. And I'll show you that too. Did you know there's a giant pyramid in Australia? You want to see it? Sitting right at the centre of Australian power? Look closely, because you'll miss it. Because that's the way they designed it. There it is. Hang on. Do you see it yet? And what about now? That is the frame of an Egyptian pyramid, which we can now firmly call a Masonic pyramid, complete with a missing capstone. And if you're still in doubt that you're looking at a pyramid, there you go. A perfect to-scale pyramid hiding out of sight inside the giant frame that surrounds it. This is going to be so unbelievable to you that you probably won't believe it. Or if you're that far gone, if you really have lost touch with your own soul, you won't care. And you'll miss the opportunity to have your own eyes open first to the worst news and then to the best news you could ever wish for on this God-forsaken planet in which you're destined to lose everything you have and everything you love until eventually you lose yourself. We have to establish what this religion that's hiding inside of Freemasonry actually is, and we will. And it's shocking, but it's reality. The symbol of the Freemasons itself is not what it seems. It's a squaring compass on the surface, but it conceals something that'll become obvious when I show you. But before we uncloak Freemasonry to see its true nature, its ugly face and its shameful nakedness, because I gave you my word that I'm going to prove it to you. This is the oath they have to take. This is the oath that I took. And your favorite actors and singers, just about all your heroes, just about, even some of your relatives, who probably have no idea what Freemasonry is or was, and why they took such gruesome oaths. So for those who are going to say, my grandfather was a Freemason and he was a great bloke, or don't the Freemasons run that retirement home? Just wait. Because I'm talking to Freemasons here as well. And don't you worry, they're going to come out of the woodworks. But they're all under the oath of secrecy. Don't forget that, no matter who they are. Adele, Neil Finn, Chris Angel, or Scott Morrison. The oath comes first. And here it is. This is taken from an official Masonic publication, not intended for the public. This is Duncan's Ritual of Freemasonry. In brief, I, of my own free will and accord, do hereby promise and swear that I will never reveal any of the secrets, arts, parts, point or points of the Master Mason's degree to any person or persons whomsoever. This I solemnly, sincerely promise and swear, under no less penalty than having my body severed in two, my bowels taken out and burnt to ashes, so no more remembrance be had of so vile and wicked a wretch as I, should I ever violate my Master Mason's obligation. So now you know what they think of me. I'm a vile and wicked wretch for breaking my oath. So how can anyone ever trust a Freemason when he speaks about Freemasonry? Unless you're speaking to a rare breed like me. Never reveal any parts, not even a single point, to anyone. Here's another penalty from another degree, this time from Richardson's Monitor of Freemasonry. a legitimate Masonic publication for instructing and laying out the ritual, binding myself under no less penalty than having my throat cut across, my tongue torn out by the roots, and my body buried in the rough sands of the sea. These are the penalties they swear to. And yes, the lodge has penal authority to execute. This is how they look when they're initiated. They have to remove all their clothing and jewelry, including wedding rings, crucifixes, the most meaningful things to them, no matter what. They have to go, because complete allegiance to the society is required. You're blindfolded at every initiation because you symbolize someone who lives in utter darkness before you receive the light of Freemasonry. And that light will become so obvious to you in a bit. The secret that is being unveiled by incremental degrees to the candidates in the lodge is staring us in the face in daily life. And that truth is pretty scary if all you know and all you have is this world. But they know much more than that. At one point, when the blindfold comes off, this is what you're surrounded by. Blokes dressed like this, holding swords to your face. And that's nothing compared to what comes later. So your own wife or daughter don't qualify for discussion in these matters, unless they too are initiated to the same level as you. So please don't tell me that your grandfather or your neighbor is a Freemason and that there's nothing wrong with Freemasonry. How would you know when they're under oath never to reveal anything to anyone? The whole successful system is constructed by the art of lying to the public and to their own members of lower degrees. And we trust these people? Now here are the illustrations for the signs and handshakes. And you only receive them after the oath has been taken. This is the sign you do upon entering and exiting the ritual room while facing the Grand Master. It stands for throat slit, and it goes like this. A continual reminder of where you are and what awaits you if you have a change of heart or rebellious spirit. And here you have the illustrations of the secret handshakes. Look familiar? And this is the sign of the Master of the Second Veil. See? Purely Masonic. You don't pick this stuff up off the street. Now this is how it's generally executed in the public arena. Sneaky, sneaky, huh? So when you see this, or this, you know for certain where it comes from and who they belong to. Look at Kramer on the front page of the privately circulated Freemason magazine, officially a Mason, like fellow brother Tony Abbott, and he's doing this. That's a direct link to the mysterious all-seeing eye of Freemasonry. There it is on the walls of the inside of a lodge room. So there's no reason to doubt that those who do this belong to this. This is another sign they do quite prominently. It's the sign of silence. This is from Richardson's Monitor of Freemasonry again, a finger over the lips. Now these signs are slightly morphed over time, so covering the mouth in a variety of ways is the expression of being bound to secrecy and silence. Silence or death, as Little Wayne here is portraying. Here's the oath of a second-degree Freemason on page 21 of Richardson's Monitor of Freemasonry. Binding myself under no less penalty than having my left breast torn open and my heart and vitals taken out, thrown over my left shoulder, should I willfully transgress any part of this my solemn oath. In this degree, the penalty is to have your whole body dissected, bowels removed and heart cut into pieces and thrown into a field where you are eaten by animals, all to protect the secret religion of the rich, powerful and famous. In the Knights Templar degree, the penalty is to have your head cut off. Listen to this penalty. And this one has happened throughout history more than any other, because it works so well without having to resort to death or the threat of death, and it's easier to execute. Now, this applies to all areas of industry. It's done through the ruining of your reputation by fellow Freemasons, pointing him out to the world as an unworthy vagabond, by opposing his interests, making life very hard for you, by deranging his business, by transferring his character wherever he may go, and by exposing him to the contempt of the whole fraternity, the secret society, and the world. Wow. How many people do you think they've threatened, ruined, framed, cheated, and utterly destroyed to protect their secret religion? And in case you think the Masonic Lodge hasn't got the authority over the initiates, especially the ones in the high degrees, this is from the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry. Under mandate, the orders and decrees of the Grand Master or of a Grand Lodge are called mandates, and implicit obedience to them is a Masonic obligation. And in Sickles' Monitor of Freemasonry, you plainly see they have a right to kill. A lodge has a right to exercise penal authority over its members, exercise the penalties. So don't let a Mason tell you, oh no, that's just symbolic, the oath. Their laws are above the law of the land, and the proof are the oaths themselves. Because in normal society, you can't ask someone to accept having their throat slit as a penalty in order to be a member of any club or workplace. Unheard of. But not in Freemasonry, not in the secret society world. I told you, you don't know who you're dealing with and what's coming for us all. Here's what they think of the public. Here in speaking to the candidate, it's stated, but have a care not to defile the sanctuary by a spirit of curiosity, meaning don't try to join us just for fun. And take care not to increase the number of the vulgar and profane, meaning don't invite too many outsiders to join because they're vulgar and they're profane. This is more or less an invitation-only fraternity. Here from the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry again, written for Masons only and written by 33rd degree Masonic legend Albert Mackey, stating the same thing. Masonic definition of profane. One who is ignorant of the sacred rites of Freemasonry. One who is not allowed to enter the temple and behold the mysteries. And here, being uninitiated. That's the world at large. And here, from this old ritual book written by the same legendary author, in the 33rd degree initiation, the Mason drinks wine from a human skull, which has been the cause for a few to leave Masonry, because they wonder, whose skull is this? In the 30th degree, part of the ritual involves stabbing skulls. Illustrated right here. The process of submitting the member further and further involves things like this. See, the candidate who's seeking admission into the next degree to receive more light has to be humiliated and intimidated. This guy here has his foot on the candidate's head. This is what our celebrities and politicians and the most prominent members of our society have done and continue to do. No one is exempt from this. And this is the intimidating and frightening path that you must take that binds you to the secret society before you are revealed the true beliefs of the religion. So can you see the risks I'm taking? You have to stay till the end. Don't let me down. Don't let yourself down or your fellow man. Believe me, it'll be worth it. Now here's one of the 3 greatest Freemasons of all time, who actually helped construct the 33 degrees or rituals of modern Freemasonry, Albert Pike. A hideous man with a deeply complicated mind, and one who will soon help you to see who they really are. This is how important he is to Freemasonry. He's buried here, in the House of the Temple, a Washington Masonic Lodge, just around the corner from the White House. He was called the Grand Commander Sovereign Pontiff of Universal Freemasonry, a giant of this secret society, the only Confederate general who has his own statue. And who were the Confederates? The dudes that fought for slavery, not against it, defeated by Abraham Lincoln, who was surrounded by these Freemasons and who was assassinated by this one. John Wilkes Booth doing the same sign of the Master of the Second Veil. A Freemason assassinated Abraham Lincoln, undisputable when you have the eyes to see. Now, Albert Pike writes in his colossal work, which some refer to as the Bible of Freemasonry, called Morals and Dogma, and on page 113 he says, "What can there be in common between the vile multitudes and the sublime wisdom?" That's what Freemasons possess, sublime wisdom. That's what their secret is. It's sublime. The secret I'll reveal to you. Now, just quickly, here's Freemason Kanye West. Here he's giving the Masonic grip to his brother Mason Jay-Z. Look at the lapel he's wearing in this picture. It's the same double-headed eagle as on the front cover of the so-called Bible of Freemasonry, Morals and Dogma, written by the Grand Commander Sovereign Pontiff of the religion that Kanye and Jay-Z have been sworn into and thus granted access to international success. His Christian conversion isn't what it seems, and you'll soon see what job he has to do. Now look at what else Freemasonry thinks of the uninitiated, from the words of the Grand Commander himself. The truth must be kept secret, and the masses need a teaching proportioned to their imperfect reason. I hope you're listening, because we're about to get going here. These truths were covered from the common people, as with a veil. There's that veil again. And the mysteries were carried into every country. Freemasonry was secretly imported from the East into the whole world to weave its web in the darkness, to increase and advance its agenda. The sages, meaning the enlightened ones, always had an esoteric creed, unknown to the vulgar. And here he says, to the end that the vulgar heard, seeing might not see anything, and hearing might comprehend nothing. Are they right? Am I wasting my time, laying it all down for nothing? Because they know you so well? Your favorite celebrity and politician's secret religion is beyond the reach of the vulgar. Vulgar is what you are to them. He won't tell you. She won't tell you. And they won't tell you. Because the other obscene penalties from the rituals of Freemasonry include having your ear and hand chopped off, or both hands, being hung in your own home, and my personal favorite, having the top of your skull cut off so your brain is cooked in the sun. Now, can you imagine what they're hiding? And then the ritual monitor goes on to illustrate the same secret handshakes and signs: hidden hand, sign of silence. These people mocking us, sometimes to our face with their symbolism, while we respect them, admire them, and sometimes even love them and idolize them. All of them partaking in the same initiation rituals. To belong to the secret society, a prerequisite for success. To belong to the religion that gives you everything you want, everything your heart desires. While the Gospels teach accurately that the heart is wicked. Now here is a practical example of how Freemasonry comes first, even above the title of president. Here's a portrait of George Washington doing the sign of the Master of the Second Veil, and here, Freemason, before and above president. And if you think that's just by chance that they put the word Freemason above president, then here, read this genuine quote from Harry Truman. This should tell you how deep the consequences of Masonic initiation go and what lies deep within. It's Freemasonry above everything else. There's the Queen showing her allegiance over and over. And here's the Queen leaving a very special hospital with a very special nurse. And this was the Queen's father, fully dressed in his Masonic regalia, and that God-forsaken apron they wear, which also hides something, just like the square and compass. In fact, what the apron hides is what the square and compass really represents. And it's staring you right in the face. Can you see it yet? Prince Charles, handshake, hidden hand. Prince Harry, Prince William. And here is the Grand Master of English Freemasonry, Prince Edward, also in full gear. What a lovely looking chap. And now he's giving the Masonic grip in front of this stone that was placed there to memorialize his visit to Cape Town Lodge. And what about this guy? Prince Philip, husband of the Queen. Do you remember him saying this? Yeah, and here's the article in case you think he didn't. Initiated member. Do you slowly see what the Masonic mindset is? We are beneath them. And the craziest thing is, if they can turn you into what they think of you, then you deserve what's coming. It's a natural law. It's the law of nature. And I'll soon show you their real Bible, for lack of a better term, which justifies it all, and the one which guides their morals. And it makes a lot of sense, because the power of the deceptive phenomenon of Freemasonry lies in the fact that it contains real truth, intertwined with untruth. Now, this actual book that guides their morals and plans, it isn't written by hand, and it's been around longer than the Bible. So they think it's purer, sublime as they call it. And it's the foundation on which the religion is built upon. And that Bible, so-called, that unwritten Bible, is the key to unlocking its secrets. I'm going to hand you that key. And it's all going to come together like a flood. So they're going to own it all by their own words and actions. And they're going to introduce us to a new system of life, but only after a number of shocking events take place, which I'm so close to telling you about. But first, I have to tell you the name of the secret religion and the identity of the I. Now, for the few of you that think of hospitals and charities and nursing homes when you hear the word Freemason, a word which I soon hope to never speak again after this video, well, it's a front, a cover story, and like everything else in this presentation, I'm going to show you. This too is for the poor Freemasons that are going to have the call to make an appearance in the comment section trying to defend their beloved fraternity. This is 33rd degree Freemason Manly Hall, who was named Freemason of the Century by the Scottish Rite Journal in 1990. And you'd be surprised how many Masons haven't heard of him, because they don't bother entering the Masonic library and searching out the mysteries themselves. These same Masons think they know something, and they parade themselves on websites and social media, calling people like me, oh, he's just an anti-Mason, anti-Mason. Blind fools at best, deceivers at worst. Well, the Freemason of the Century wrote in this book and in this chapter, Freemasonry is a fraternity within a fraternity, an outer organization, concealing an inner brotherhood of the elect, one visible and the other invisible. The visible society is a splendid camaraderie of free and accepted men and women, enjoined to devote themselves to ethical, educational, fraternal, patriotic, and humanitarian causes and concerns like hospitals and charities. But the invisible society is a secret and most august fraternity whose members are dedicated to the service of a mysterious arcanum arcanorum, meaning mystery of mysteries. Now, I wonder what that could be. So once again, don't listen to the lost or deceptive Masons that'll come here trying to cheat you from the truth, telling you that I don't know what I'm talking about or calling me an anti-Mason. Because there you just heard it. There's a Masonry for the majority of Masons, and then there's the real thing, the secret religion, which should shock you when it's announced. These same lost or deceptive Masons also love to repeat, like parrots, that Freemasonry is not a religion. Well, what does the Freemason of the Century have to say about that? From this book, he writes, Masonry is essentially a religious order. Not just a little bit religious, but essential. And here, the iconic giant of Freemasonry says in Morals and Dogma, every Masonic lodge is a temple of religion, and its teachings are instructions in religion. So please, sit down, Masons, because Freemasonry is a religion. And soon, I'm going to tell you what it's really called. Now look at this from the same book, and speaking about fellow Freemasons being initiated in the lodge room. Part of the symbols are displayed there to the initiate, but he is intentionally misled by false interpretations. Their true explication is reserved for the princes of Freemasonry. The whole body of the royal art, which you'll know all about soon, was hidden so carefully in the higher degrees. So you see, the whole thing is built on lies. And the ultimate liar lives inside the triangle, above the pyramid, so that even the highest Masons are living a monstrous lie. Wake up, Masons. Even you are deceived, just as the public is. Unless, of course, you're hungry enough to want to acquire all the power and climb up that pyramid closer to the eye that sees all. In that case, close your mouth, go back to your lodge, and good luck to you. Or, of course, grow some kahunas and be honest. But then you can't, right? Because you'd be breaking your oath. Sad. Oh, it's good to be free, under the wing of the true master. Stick around if you're interested, and you'll get to see some wonder. When I pull that cloak called Freemasonry right off, and those that are still here watching will get to see the true colors of the nakedness and the horror of the Masonic Lodge, and the religion that rules them all. Another thing that Masons will repeatedly say is that this has nothing to do with Freemasonry, and it's just a conspiracy theory. Well, the 33rd degree Freemason of the century also wrote this book about 100 years ago, The Secret Destiny of America, and look at the front cover. And I'll tell you why America is so important for the ultimate goal of the secret society. It's disturbing, but it's also essential in understanding the near future and what's going to take place. So for the Freemasons that still say that this is not a Masonic design, especially this Masonic website called Masonic Info, insisting here that even the eye in the triangle or pyramid is not Masonic. Completely laughable and pure disinformation for the stupid masses. Try arguing against this. This is from a 1960 copy of the New Age magazine, an official organ of the Supreme Council of 33rd Degrees. No higher authority in the United States to speak of the relationship between Freemasonry and the US $1 bill. Masonic symbolism in a $1 bill. Look at them all. 13 leaves, 13 bars, 13 feathers, so on and so forth, and of course this, the Masonic all-seeing eye, located in the pyramid. So you think this is a conspiracy theory or just a plain conspiracy? Well, here's JFK, yes, a Freemason, but one who had enough when he wanted to print money disassociated from the Masonic central banks, just like Abraham Lincoln, and he paid the price for it as well. Listen to the speech we never hear about in school. More proof that they control the education system here and everywhere. Please just have a quick listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means. I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people.
As I said in the beginning, you're just seeing the tip of the iceberg peeking out from the ocean top. I told you, all personalities in the field of great influence are initiated members of Freemasonry. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. Within 60 seconds of me telling you what international Freemasonry really is, I'll prove it to you, unequivocally, within 60 seconds. And then I'm going to drive it home, and then I'm going to show you what they're planning with this new age they're implementing, and then the conclusion, which is by far the most important part of this presentation. So when you hear me tell you the truth in just a moment, don't switch off in disbelief because you can't believe that your favorite idol or whoever could possibly be involved, like you know them or something. You don't know these people. You do know that they're under oath never to reveal their beliefs to you. The vile multitude. It's time to trust your eyes now, not your feelings, especially after all that I've shown you. This is why the secret religion is so hidden. This is why it's so ingeniously designed through layers of lies upon lies, cloak upon cloak, and oath upon oath, concealing the truth for its chosen few. What is Freemasonry? What is the most secret yet most powerful religion in the world? Well, that's easy. We live in an evil, evil world. So there's only one religion that befits it. Freemasonry is Satanism in disguise. Now start the clock. From Morals and Dogma, prepared for the Supreme Council for 33rd degree. That's the highest degree in Freemasonry, and written by the undisputed heavyweight champion of modern Freemasonry, Albert Pike. On page 321, he boldly states, Lucifer, the light bearer. Strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, son of the morning. Is it he who bears the light? Doubt it not. Did you hear that? Lucifer is God, and do not doubt it. Come on now, stay with me. Here from the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry, written by 33rd degree Freemason, a beloved member of the craft, Albert Mackey. He tells us whose name represents the good principle in Freemasonry's secret worldview. Writing under the Masonic meaning of the word pentagram, he says that the pentagram, depending on its position, represents good or evil. See how he puts the positive aspect in the first position? Good first, evil second. Good or evil, light or darkness, victory or death, initiation or profanation, Lucifer or Vesper. Lucifer is good. Lucifer is light. Lucifer is victory. And Lucifer is true initiation. See, if you're not initiated, you're profane. If you haven't figured out that God is Lucifer, you're vulgar and profane. You're stupid, in their own words. That's the beginning of their big secret. God is the devil, and we're already in hell right now. Now from the Freemason of the Century, Manly Hall, and this will make it 3 out of 3 legends of Freemasonry stating the same thing. In The Lost Keys of Freemasonry on page 76, when the Mason learns that the key to the warrior on the block is the proper application of the dynamo of living power, he has learned the mystery of his craft. The seething, surging energies of Lucifer are in his hands. Do you see? The world's hidden religion, with its universal one-eye symbolism, who was revealed slowly and by degrees only to its dedicated members, is Satanism, or Luciferianism as they prefer to call it. Now all the oaths make sense, don't they? Now all the rituals make sense. Now all the penalties make sense. And their secret signs and symbols and handshakes all make sense. While the bulk of Freemasons make the external image of the fraternity and know nothing of who rules over them and who or what they're protecting. But which craft do you think the Freemason of the Century is talking about here? Which craft? Which craft? Which craft? Witchcraft. You need to slowly wake up now. Witchcraft is the royal art of Freemasonry, jealously guarded and reserved for the few. I'll show you clear as day that this is in fact true. This is the symbol of Satanism. And this is the symbol of the lodge of female Freemasonry called the Order of the Eastern Star. Look at that. Satanism, Freemasonry. Trust your eyes. This is the symbol of the Church of Lucifer, founded by a 33rd degree Freemason, which I'll prove. Look at the Masonic squaring compass in the design. The Church of Satan and Lucifer, two sides of the same coin, nurtured and brought to an organized international level of power and influence by Freemasonry, in secret, and all done right under our noses. And if you think that your politicians or religious leaders or favorite idols can't be a part of this, you have to try and snap out of it, or suspend your everyday beliefs just for a moment, and I will clearly show you how it's not only possible, but it's actual. Please, I feel like it's now or never. If you don't get a glimpse of this now, then when? Who else is going to tell you this? When will you next be confronted with this? This is reality. And as much as you thought that ordinary people came into positions of power through hard work or concern for society or family connections, combined with brains and talent, that's not the case. That's the fantasy. This is the reality. They all go through Freemasonry. You think that Sam Worthington was so talented that he was picked over all those American actors to star in Avatar? Of course not. He was a Freemason. And so was the director, James Cameron, of the highest caliber. You have to remember that to them, Lucifer is good. Lucifer is the liberator. Jesus is the suppressor. Lucifer is pure love. Jesus is impure love. Lucifer left heaven for you. Jesus was crucified because he was a false Messiah. The world has always been deceptive, and we have been magnificently deceived. Here is an incredible example. Pay attention. This should blow your mind. Charles Darwin, the father of atheism and rationalism, was an initiated Freemason, doing the hidden hand of Freemasonry in this picture, and the vow of silence in this one. This would have remained unknown to us because no one's going to teach us this. But now we have the tools to see his beliefs, not through his words, but through his signs and symbols. I told you they can't help but to show off their religions because they think we're stupid, vile, and ignorant. And I've proven that to you as well. So once again, are you going to prove them right by switching off and ignoring this? Well, unfortunately, more than 90% of you will. But what I'm giving you here is priceless knowledge because no amount of money or success can substitute its importance. And I'm risking everything but my own salvation to share it with you. If only for the few of you. Think about what you've just seen here with Charles Darwin, because I don't know if you got it. You cannot be accepted as a candidate of Freemasonry unless you believe in a supreme being, as exemplified here with Phil Collins, speculated by some to be an atheist, but this seems impossible because being a Freemason, he has to believe in a higher power, or more accurately, supreme being, and I can personally vouch for that. And look here in the Masonic Oath itself. The candidate says, I will not aid or be present at the initiation of an atheist, a madman, or a fool. Freemasonry believes that to be an atheist is to be the equivalent of a madman. And they're right. Yet while they propagate atheism around the world, in universities and schools, Charles Darwin himself was a believer in an intelligent designer, a supreme being. He had to be, because he's a Freemason. And that intelligent designer that gave birth to us is named Lucifer in the highest degrees of Freemasonry. See, never tell. He lied to you because that's what Freemasons do. The whole thing is a giant lie that was carefully constructed by mutilating the truth, because mutilated truths make the most successful lies. This is the secret to their success: a lying tongue and a lying spirit, from the 1st degree to the 33rd degree, to each other and to us. I've proven that as well. And what did Jesus, how did he describe their God? The father of lies. How accurate. The one who comes to cheat, kill, and destroy. How accurate again when I tell you their plans. Look here, Charles Darwin is noted as an influential figure by the Satanic Temple. And proof for them, apart from the intelligent design that is all around us, that Lucifer is real and that he's the god of this realm, is the power of witchcraft or magic. Magic works because there's a hierarchy or a pyramidal power structure in the spirit realm, a realm devoid of any love for you. And these spirits can be conjured up and summoned by the practitioners of the royal art of Freemasonry. They ask for something in return, however. Listen to Bob Dylan, a Freemason. Hidden hand, one eye symbolism.
Out here doing these songs, you know, you're still on tour.
I do, but I don't take it for granted.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
How does one communicate with Bob Dylan's chief commander, Lucifer? By the jealously guarded royal art of Freemasonry, witchcraft. This is from the Encyclopedia of American Religions. Secrecy is bolstered by a system of initiations and degrees, the Freemasonic system. The material which is kept secret is the magical knowledge of the group. This knowledge may consist of rituals and powerful magical formulas. Do you think J.K. Rowling isn't a Luciferian? In this article, J.K. Rowling reveals the inspiration behind the Deathly Hallows symbol. And what is it? The Masonic square and compass, with the one eye that all the celebrities mimic. That's the inspiration. They're all members of the secret society. If you think that doesn't prove anything, here she is with her new tattoo. It says Solve Coagula. Also a song title by fellow Freemason Marilyn Manson. And where does it come from? Here, the Baphomet. The image of Lucifer as conceptualized by another Freemason, Eliphas Levi, in his book, The Doctrine of Transcendental Magic. This horrid thing, with breasts, a penis, and a goat's head with two horns, has these words written on its arms: Solve Coagula. The impact of the meaning of these two words should disturb you to soberness when I tell you about them, because apart from other things, they involve the process in which the new system will be implemented at unbelievable cost to you and I. Here's a statue of the Baphomet at the temple, Satanic Temple, complete with two little kids admiring it. That's J.K. Rowling's religion, Satanism. The secret religion for the highly evolved and the highly successful. Welcome to the real world. The same Masonic author writes in The Doctrine of Transcendental Magic, in the ceremonies practiced at reception by all secret societies, there are found indications of a doctrine which is everywhere carefully concealed, and that is witchcraft. And in his History of Magic, he tells us it is the royal art. And that's what Freemasonry calls it. And where did he get his inspiration for the Baphomet? From the Knights Templar, another secret society who were banned, and some of its members were executed in the 1300s for glorifying evil, as it's openly stated here in the Satanic Rituals. And where do modern day Knights Templars reside now? Within a high degree of Freemasonry, right here. Again from the encyclopedia, and listen to this. The continuing impact of speculative Freemasonry, which means modern day Freemasonry, provided fertile soil in which new magical orders could grow. Magical orders, meaning other branches of secret societies, of which Freemasonry is the umbrella. Because Freemasonry is the king of secret societies. Just like JFK tried to tell us, it's the prestigious channel that one must go through. And it is the reason that the oldest religion in the world has made a colossal comeback and is now on the brink of success, which, as I said, nothing can stop now. And again from the encyclopedia, the groups wear ritual garb and meet in magical lodges. And where do Masons meet? In the Masonic Lodge. Like here with a magical pentagram on their checkered floorboard. Are you believing your eyes, or are you making excuses? Here's another statue of the Baphomet at a satanic temple doing the sign of the horned god Lucifer. The hand sign mimicking the horns on his head. And of course, the upside down cross. And here's Barack Obama doing the same sign. And the sign of silence with a twist. Who do you think he's mocking here? You and I. But mainly Christians. Because Christianity is the one force that has stood between you and the inconceivable horror that is awaiting us and is on its way. Here's an article on Barack Obama, and that's his hands adjusting his presidential seal. And there's his Masonic ring, and the sign of the devil's horns, over and over. Freemasonry and Satanism are intertwined. Look at these Masonic politicians throwing up the devil's horns. George W. Bush. Look how sneaky and sinister the look on his face is here. And the manner in which he's delivering the sign. In front of the whole world. Is he a fan of rock music? Is he saying I love you in sign language for the deaf, like some people like to say? This is his fraternal order called Skull and Bones, also known as the Order of Death, where you lie naked in a coffin with what's called a temple prostitute during initiation. Clearly a Masonic order, with this guy displaying the hidden hand of Freemasonry. In Stanley Kubrick's last movie before his death, he's telling you that all prominent members of industry, including politics, as the movie goes on to show, are members of a satanic secret society. In it, he shows the members engage in an orgy and feast after the ceremony of dedication to their horned god. To identify which secret society he's referring to, he leaves the clues in the artwork. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. The One-Eyed Religion. And who do you think the title of the movie is dedicated to? None other than the stupid, ignorant, and uninitiated masses watching the movie. And you know it now. He knew that when we'd leave the cinema, we'd be commenting on the performance of Tom Cruise, or giggling about the orgy scene, or just being disappointed because the movie went too long, or some other meaningless critique, with eyes wide shut. Look at the cover of his other movie, A Clockwork Orange, the eye on top of the pyramid. And on his shirt, the word devil in Italian. Let me take it up a notch, in case this isn't registering. Listen to the founder of the Satanic Church, Anton LaVey, tell us in his book, The Satanic Rituals, which is a companion to the Satanic Bible, Masonic orders have contained the most influential men in many governments, and virtually every occult order has many Masonic roots. This is back in 1972 he said this. Now 40 years later it should read all governments, not many. And why is the founder of the Church of Satan talking about Freemasonry, the most respectable and charitable fraternity in the world, that no one seems to talk about and that we never hear about in school? This is why. Because the Satanic Ritual is a blend of Gnostic, Kabbalistic, Hermetic, and Masonic elements. That's crazy, because Freemasonry is a blend of Gnostic, Kabbalistic, and Hermetic elements too. Any Masonic writer will confirm that. But how can that be? Because Freemasonry is Satanism in disguise. On page 106, every rite of the Black Order employed Masonic principles. Every rite of these Black Orders, one of which was called Freunden von Lucifer, which translates to Friends of Lucifer. And guess what? There are numerous manifestations of Satanism in Masonic ritual, including the goat, the coffin, and the death's head. Please awaken, O sleeper, and let the glorious light of the truth dawn upon your sleepy eyes. How did Freemasonry get away with this? Just like Jesus, the greatest enemy of theirs, said they would, by dressing the wolves as sheep. A satanic underground carefully cloaked in Christian trappings. That's how Freemasonry got away with it. We can't find out about it because they run the media and the education system clearly. John F. Kennedy was brutally assassinated after he attempted to inform us that we are opposed around the world by a monolithic conspiracy. Did he know that Lucifer was the god of Freemasonry? I don't know. The Grand Master of my lodge, who was the mayor of the city, was a 32nd degree Freemason. That's one short of the top, one short of the true beginning of the secret religion, and he had no idea what Freemasonry really was. After 42 years in the lodge, they never invited him into the 33rd degree initiation because he couldn't see past the Christian trappings, as they were designed to do exactly that, trap the Christian, or trap anyone else who was too sensitive to behold the truth. Thus, Freemasonry could halt their progress at any time without suspicion because it's a rare thing to reach the 33rd degree, and every Freemason knows that. So that there are no rude awakenings that take place with those that aren't ready to embrace Lucifer as the true god of Freemasonry and the world. This is an ingenious system, birthed by what must have been demonic inspiration. Anton LaVey says that this ingenious system I speak of serves as a rudimentary screening process for organized Satanism. Exactly right. It's a filtering process, as I've said earlier, an international filtering process from which men and women are picked and permitted to enter the world stage. And I'm saying all this for those who naively think that politics and magic ritual do not mix. That's the founder of the Satanic Church. He admits that. Admissions that were never heeded because no one cares. How else did the Freemasons pull the wool over our eyes? The companion to the Satanic Bible tells us that as well. By filling the world with fools. And who's the biggest fool in the eyes of Freemasonry? An atheist. From the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry. One who does not believe in the existence of God. Such a state of mind can only arise from the ignorance of stupidity. All this time, you're laughing at Christians, and the Freemasons are laughing at you. Here's Brad Pitt wearing his Masonic ring and covering his eye. Now here's a genuine quote from Brad Pitt, the Freemason. In short, I could really try on something different for myself. That was Satanism. It's working out really well. I made a pact. That's why. You don't believe him? Bob Dylan does. And the hand sign they all do. Allow me to show you what it symbolizes. And now that you know what you know, it should make sense to you. It stands for 666. Yes, indeed. Satan's number, foretold by Jesus Christ. Now just hang on, let me prove it to you. Here it is for all to see on this shirt design, worn by Guns N' Roses guitarist Slash. See the I in the middle of the 6? Repeated 3 times. That's 666. In this one, the design in the shirt is clearly demonstrated by the person wearing it. Another example, the hand sign with 3 6s on the shirt. Here's a movie poster, the hand sign and the 6 on his lapel. Connect the dots. Here's Don Cheadle, the hand sign, and here he covers one eye with the dice. What's the number on the dice that he holds toward the camera? 6. There's literally 3 6s that manifest in the hand sign itself, like this. That's why they do it. Here's Drake with the most obvious example, holding up the hand sign with the all-seeing eye of Lucifer on his bicep. And here, blatantly connecting the 6 to the hand sign on the artwork to one of his songs. The hand sign over one eye, obviously signifying a 6. This is proof. The number is mystical and it's grounded in reality, and it's related to sex rituals within witchcraft. You'll see, I'll show you. But if that's not enough, there. Drake is clearly intending that hand sign to be a way of communicating the number 666. A hater of Christianity and Jesus Christ. But I wonder why. He has everything he desires. Christians aren't suppressing him. He doesn't hate Buddha or Muhammad. None of them do. No. Jesus is who they hate. But they protect Freemasonry by communicating its presence in their lives, not by word, but by symbols and signs. Disciples of Lucifer. While you don't believe it, they take it very seriously, and they mock you by displaying it in your face. They know the truth. The chief commander, the one at the top of the pyramid, is Satan, the god of this world, just like Jesus told you who he is. Britney Spears doing the 666 over the eye, and look at this. The devil's horns while she wears the seal of the US $1 bill, designed by Freemasons. You know why now. You just have to stop denying it. Freemasonry is Satanism in disguise. This is how they tell you. Let's go to Britney's close friend, whom she tongue-kissed in front of the world, sexualized as these people are, and for all the girls out there to be inspired and corrupted by. Madonna, wearing the same Masonic design as Britney. 666 hand sign, the one eye symbolism, and the vow of silence. The vow of silence with her fellow practitioner of witchcraft. The Masonic eye in the triangle behind her, and now the upside down cross of Christ on her outfit. A member of the secret society who hates Jesus with a passion. As you can see here with Lucifer, the god of Freemasonry, giving her oral sex. Deep despisers of Christianity. Are you wondering why yet? The sign of the devil's horns here, meaningfully placed and done with precise intent, like with all of them. And here teaching her poor children to follow in her footsteps. Truly only God knows how many young people she's perverted in her career, all orchestrated by Freemasonry. Here's the founder of the Church of Satan again, Anton LaVey, showing the horn sign. The horned god of the witches, as illustrated by Una Woodruff in her book Witches. And here, with a member of the Agora sect of Hinduism partaking in a ritual of the oldest religion of the world. She's drinking blood here from what? A human skull. Sound familiar? That's right. That's what all the high-level Freemasons do, except they use wine, until they themselves are invited into the secret religion. It's ritualistically done to gain magical abilities, not a myth. And look at her hand sign. It's also known as the El Diablo. You still think this hand sign is a joke, or it's misunderstood or misrepresented by people like me? Look at the cover of Anton's other book called Satan Speaks. Look at the eye. He has one eye emphasized. Can you see? What about the image of Lucifer in the Satanic Temple? Look at the right eye. It's darkened. You ready for this? From the Bible. And this passage is thousands of years old. Woe to the worthless shepherd. His right arm shall be completely withered, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened. Where do you think this hatred for Jesus comes from? Do you think it's because we've outgrown it? Or because it speaks the truth? Who do you think this worthless shepherd with one eye darkened is? And who said, I am the good shepherd? Who said that? Jesus Christ is the good shepherd, not the worthless shepherd with one eye. You think this is all just a coincidence? Just hang tight a little longer and you will see some wonder. Here's Anton LaVey with Freemason Marilyn Manson, and here's Marilyn covering his eye. In case you forgot that this is the eye of Freemasonry, the international religion they all belong to. Here he is giving the sign of the master of the second veil, the hidden hand of Freemasonry, along with his Masonic ring. You know how many presidents and journalists and common men have tried to expose Freemasonry or get it shut down, get it banned? Well, those days are long gone. Marilyn Manson, the Freemason who tears the Bible into pieces on stage during his performances, he captured the fundamental purpose of Freemasonry's existence very well when he said in an interview with Spin magazine in 1996, "Hopefully I'll be remembered as the person who brought an end to Christianity," echoing the dreams of grandeur, just like his spiritual father. Now Kesha, one-eye symbolism of Freemasonry, the eye in the triangle, and the sign of silence. So she's a member. And behold, an inverted cross in her music video, inverted cross on her outfit, and a satanic pentagram on this outfit, just like the symbol of female Freemasonry. You think none of these Freemasons look like witches? Really? And none of these witches in the making? Remember, 90% of them don't know what they're serving, or what they're doing there, or why they're taking oaths of such silence and such penalty. Avril Lavigne does, showing her allegiance with the one-eye symbolism, participating in lesbianism in a video, influencing the masses, subtly stealing her innocence. And what's on her helmet? One eye. And doing the El Diablo with pentagrams at her concert. Anthony Bourdain, with his one-eye symbolism, he was openly a hater of Christianity. And what kind of woman would suit a man like this? Well, a fellow member of the secret society who hates Christianity too, of course, Asia Argento. One-eye symbolism, again and again. The sign of Lucifer's horns, and this pose of his image. Remember the Baphomet. There's Asia mimicking its pose, complete with the finger position. Creatures with breasts and an erect penis and a goat's head. You know, things you find normal now, thanks to international Freemasonry, normalizing evil and filth through multiple levels of and avenues of propaganda and influence, including television, movies, music videos, schools, education, through legislation, through passing of laws to protect the evil nature, and of course through your favorite idols. Chris Hemsworth, just your everyday good Aussie bloke? I'm afraid not. One-eye symbolism and the sign of silence, both of which mean he's taken all the disgusting oaths of Freemasonry under the penalty of death, thus catapulting him over the competition, never to promote Christian values or Jesus Christ again. The 666 hand sign, and now, see how the hand symbol makes sense? Amber Heard, who was married to this Freemason, who's best friends with this Freemason. I told you they only date, marry, and associate with their secret society. Here with the 666 over one eye, and this tweet. I think it's a tweet, I don't know. Look at the one eye closed, darkened if you will, and identifying its meaning with the devil's hand symbol. Of course, she camouflages the whole thing with her misdirecting words for the dumb masses. But we can see through that now, right? Oh, look, it's Elon Musk replying. He's a fan of Amber Heard. Or is there more to it? Good sign, he says. The sign of the devil's horns. The fertility god. The sex god. That's what he's referring to. Why on earth would he point that out? You know why. But to be sure, let's go to his wife or girlfriend, Grimes. One eye. And whose eye is it? You know that too now. The God of this world, who hates Jesus Christ just like she does. Two inverted crosses of Christ and the pentagram. And what about Elon's mother? Of course, all members of the secret society. Most of us who never even knew it existed. Blink-182 initiated member with some of his secret brothers from the lodge. Vow of silence. Sign of the devil. Cyndi Lauper, all-seeing eye. Vow of silence. the sign of the god of this world, Christian Bale, who thanked Satan at an award show, doing the sign of the master of the second veil, the hidden hand of Freemasonry. Ashley Tisdale, all-seeing eye, social media post, and hanging out with her boyfriend, who proudly wears the satanic cross. Do you think they belong to the same religion? Of course they do. Bonnie Wright, one eye and the satanic horns. John Cleese, I include him here because he's a well-known hater and mocker of Jesus Christ and Christianity. He got rich off it, and he's a proud Freemason, showing his allegiance. Motley Crue, Nikki Sixx, Tommy Lee, Vince Neil holding a cross upside down, and their album cover. Secretly Freemasons under oath while promoting Satanism in the open, doing their job and influencing the masses to hate Jesus and Christianity and to live a life of sin through seduction of their music. Secret Society member Jimi Hendrix hiding one eye and telling you about the secret powers of music. Nirvana, Kurt, bass player Chris, Dave Grohl, Dave and Jack Black making the sign of the pentagram, a geometric tool used in the magical curriculum, and Dave wearing his upside down cross. Hard to listen to all those beautiful songs he's written now. Courtney Love and her daughter glorifying the symbol of Satan, and Nirvana discovering something on a road trip while covering some numbers up. Proud Satanists, all secret Freemasons. Here's Quentin Tarantino. Now that we know what we know, can you see through this picture to reach its true meaning? The all-seeing eye, whose identity is revealed by the hand gesture, which is 666, with the vow of silence and throwing up the devil's horns, which I hope you can finally see means something. Share. Can this get any more obvious now?